You might look at this and just see a simple, lovely welcome. But what if I told you that this is actually the first step in a really carefully designed journey of discovery? As a Montessori trainer, I can tell you every single thing you see here, from how high the shelves are to the way these flowers are arranged, it's all done on purpose. It's all designed to spark a child's natural curiosity.
So come on, let's step inside together. Think of me as your guide for today. We're going to take a tour of a typical day and really uncover the amazing purpose behind every little activity, right from the moment a child walks in the door.
All right, here's our plan. We'll start with that prepared welcome. Then we'll dive right into the heart of it all, the purposeful work cycle. After that, we'll see how kids build skills, both big and small. And finally, we'll see how it all comes together to build a real foundation for life. Our journey starts right at the gate. You see, the arrival isn't just about dropping off the kids. Nope. It's a carefully planned moment that really sets the tone for a whole day of focused, happy discovery. The morning always kicks off with this gentle, predictable rhythm. That warm welcome makes every single child feel seen and important. But look at that last point. Right from the very first day, kids are guided to take care of their own things. And this isn't a chore, not at all. It's actually their very first lesson in being independent and responsible. And that's a cornerstone of the entire Montessori philosophy. And that idea of independence leads us perfectly into the heart of the Montessori morning, what we call the purposeful work cycle. This right here is where the real magic of self-directed learning happens. So what in the world is a work cycle? Well, it's this special, protected block of time where the whole classroom is just buzzing with this quiet energy. Kids have the freedom to choose their own activities, we call it their work, from a whole range of materials that were scientifically designed just for them. So what might look like simple play to you or me is actually a state of deep, focused learning. And the goals here are huge. This isn't just about keeping kids busy. It's about helping them learn how to concentrate deeply, letting them get lost in a task without being interrupted. It builds self-discipline because they learn to pick an activity, finish it, and put it away properly. All of this independence creates this incredible sense of confidence, and, maybe most importantly, it nurtures a real, lifelong love of learning. The real power is in their choice. They are literally the architects of their own learning. So, what kind of work are they choosing from? Come on, let's take a look at the materials that fill their world. Okay, look at this. This is how abstract ideas like letters and numbers become real, tangible things. A child might decide to work with the AZ board, actually feeling the shape of each letter. Another one might be over here with the number board, physically connecting a number of items to its symbol. What's so brilliant is that these materials are designed to be self-correcting, so each child can master these big ideas at their own perfect pace. And this brings us to a really important point. Every single activity in this room is designed to build specific skills, both for the mind and the body. It's all about developing the whole child, getting their mind and body to work together perfectly. Let's break this down real quick. We've got two main types of skills. First, fine motor skills. Those are the small, precise movements in the hands and fingers, like for writing or buttoning a shirt. Then you have gross motor skills, the big muscle movements for running and jumping and climbing. A Montessori day is basically a masterclass in developing both. Here is a perfect example of fine motor work in action. Stringing beads, it looks so simple, right? But it's an incredible workout for concentration. It builds hand-eye coordination, strengthens those little fingers, and teaches them how to follow a pattern. These are the exact skills that lay the foundation for being able to write later on. And then you've got the other side of the coin, gross motor work. The playground is just as prepared and purposeful as the classroom. Climbing a slide isn't just for fun, it's a lesson in balance, coordination, and understanding where your body is in space. It builds physical confidence and a sense of, hey, I can do this. Okay, now we have to talk about one of the most iconic pieces of Montessori equipment, the pink tower. It is so much more than just a set of blocks. The source material says it perfectly. It helps a child build a real physical concept of size, which gets them ready for abstract math ideas down the road. It's literally how they start to understand geometry, just by using their hands. So when you see the word sensorials on the daily schedule, this is what we're talking about. Sensorial exercises are all about refining a child's senses, their sight, their touch, their hearing. The pink tower is just a fantastic example of how an idea on a schedule turns into a hands-on activity that sharpens a child's perception. And you know what? The process itself is the lesson. Look at these deliberate steps. The child rolls out a mat to define their workspace. They carry each cube one at a time, feeling the difference in weight and size. They build it carefully, checking their work from all angles. This whole method teaches order and sequence and care, just as much as the tower itself teaches about dimensions.
Which brings us to our final, and maybe the most important part of our tour today. All of these things, the work cycle, the sensorials, the motor skills, it's all about building a foundation for a capable, confident, and compassionate life. It's about so much more than just academics.
As we get into the afternoon, that purposeful rhythm just keeps on going. Lunch is a community event, a time to practice being gracious and polite. And then, it's time for more joyful, full-body movement. This predictable rhythm isn't just a schedule. It creates this deep sense of safety and order, which frees up a child's mind to just learn and explore.
These practical life skills are a huge part of the Montessori curriculum. They're seen as being just as important as learning your ABCs. Tying shoelaces or buttoning a shirt isn't just about getting dressed. These are actually advanced fine motor exercises that are just woven right into the day. It's all about teaching self-care and respect for their classroom.
So, that brings us to the big question, right? We've seen the schedule, the materials, the whole philosophy behind it. But how does this super structured day really add up to something more? How does it build a foundation that lasts long after they've left the classroom? Well, here's the real takeaway. Independence isn't just something we talk about. It's practiced every single day. Concentration becomes a habit. Self-confidence grows every time they master a new, challenging task. Coordination is refined constantly. But the ultimate goal, the thing that's woven into every single minute of the day, is to instill a deep, genuine, and lifelong love for learning. That is the true purpose of a day in a Montessori classroom, to prepare a child not just for the next grade, but for life itself.